everybody. I did a thing. In the last episode, we started work on this motel, and we got it mostly done, but I finished everything up really off camera here. I got a lot of work done in the parking lot. We added this cool looking SUV guy. I am really, really happy with this design. I think it came out looking really cool. Yep. I love it. Distressed the parking lot a lot. Over here in the corner, we added a couple lawn chairs with a couple guys maybe lighting stuff on fire in a barrel and having a couple drinks. Oh, I've broken the drinks. Having a couple drinks, that sort of thing over there. And I think that kind of adds a little something to, a dingy, rundown motel. So I think it's kind of cool. Just finished up the office, and I think this is looking kind of neat. We've got a big screen TV over here on the wall for when the attendant is not helping customers, and he can just kind of sit over here on his stool and watch the TV, which is very, very nice. Over here, I've got a laundry room. Now, washer and dryers are kind of tough to make on this tiny scale, but I thought that this sort of circular design, or I guess square, but circle in Minecraft, would maybe look okay from the polished basalt, and I'm okay with it. I don't love it, but I think it gets a point across. And then we've got a vent on the wall with some rust dripping down the wall. Overall, not too bad. I think it's just a little small space that I've filled up pretty well. We've got 2 of the rooms built. Now, I still need a whole ton more of this beehive. They're a little tough to come by, so that's going to take me a while. I've got 14 more rooms to build out of beehive. But I really like this design. Sort of a gradient from the bamboo down to the stripped acacia with the beehive in there, or the bee nest in there, and I think that looks pretty good. This is a single room here with a king-size bed. Really, really nice. We've got a little kitchenette here, a coffee sort of brewing area here. In the bathroom, I was going to say, I thought I forgot a block on the floor, but I didn't. We've got a toilet that kind of needs to be cleaned. A bathtub over here. We shouldn't be in this bathroom. And then just some storage here in the corner, so you can put some things and maybe hang up a wardrobe. So I've got 2 rooms built. I've got that single, and then I've got a double, which, other than the 2 beds rather than 1, is virtually the same thing. So it looks pretty good, but this room's got termites, though. Did you hear that? It's termites. Definitely termites. So 14 more of those to build, but otherwise, the hotel, I think, is pretty much done. So I'm going to just show you some more of the details that I've added. Up here on the second level boardwalk, I've got vending machines at each end. I feel like no hotel or motel is complete without vending machines. On the roof, I added a whole bunch of machinery, ventilation systems, I think is what these probably are here. I didn't want to leave it just a big stone platform. I think that would have been pretty hideous, and this adds a lot of character, I think, to it. So I'm pretty pleased with how that came out. I'll just fly up on top of Barnes's sign here. Yeah, look at those. That's really, really nice. And then on the side, I've got this fire escape, so you can get up there and maybe service the machines. This design, I think, also came out. Look, I'm just proud of myself. I think this fire escape is kind of cool. The ladder doesn't touch the ground. You kind of got to pull it down to get up there, And then lastly, around the very back, we've got a pool. Very nice amenity to have, although this one seems to need to be cleaned a little bit. It's got a little bit of algae and the water level seems a little low. But we do have a diving board, just in case. It's very fun pool. Whee! And then, of course, I've added some smaller details, AC units to the each of the rooms, and I've done that with just these looms with fence gates underneath, and I think that really looks good. The loom has almost a great appearance to it, which, in my opinion, kind of really gives off the feel of an AC unit. And then on this final side, we've just added a little bit of trash. As you need at a dingy motel. We've got a stinky dumpster with some trash bags kicking around it. The dumpster's full, so you can't get any more trash in here. Yep, that's that. But today, we are going to be leaving the motel behind because, like I said, it is more or less done. And I think we're going to be doing a build with Barnster today, which is going to be pretty exciting. All right, maybe not one build, maybe a series of builds. It's going to be a trailer park, and it's going to go right behind me right here. Now, Barnes has already started. He's got one of his trailers up already. I'm going to start with this convenience store right here, and I think we're going to do this in steps so you guys can see kind of the process, how I start a build and whatnot. So the first thing that I want to do, number one, all of those builds over there are all elevated off the street by a block. And that allowed me to transition with like driveways, and I think like driveways from the road. And I think I want to repeat that over there with the convenience store as well, because it adds some separation, right? So it's not all on one level. It's elevation. It adds character and depth to the build. So we're going to do that over here as well. I was originally thinking to put the convenience store along this road here. So I'd have like the front face of the store here with the doors to get in, but it occurred to me that the convenience store was probably put here for the trailer park, or because of the trailer park, and not the other way around. So I think it makes more sense to have the convenience store as sort of a part of the trailer park community rather than the road network. So I'm going to put the faces of the store on this side here, and this will be sort of the side, which I think will be really good. Now, we had to build a platform for this, obviously. This terrain is all uneven, so we're going to have to blend this platform into the surrounding desert a little bit, which is going to be fine. And then back in this corner here, I kind of had to cut out part of this mountain, which again, we'll just kind of, we'll fix that as we go here. I'm not too worried about it. All right, now that we've got our platform built, the next step that I want to do is lay out the buildings. This is two individual buildings that are kind of stuck together. So I just need to make sure that I get them positioned in the right spot. And I think that will start from this back corner here. 5 from this corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 4 from the back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Which I guess is going to be right there, is going to be the corner of the building. All right, I think this gives us a little bit of space in the front to build some small, I don't know, things, some store frontage things. And over here, this section is going to be the laundromat, and we can have our parking right in front of the laundromat, which I think makes sense. All right, in this build, I'm going to be working with a couple different gradients, and I think it's going to be okay. We'll see. We'll see what you think. I want to keep up with that sort of like really dingy rundown look that I've got the motel and the storage unit over there. So for this one, we are going to use on kind of the lower level here on the laundromat and the storefront of the convenience store, which will be right here. We're going to kind of use this combination here of brick, polished granite, and mud. And that will be blended up to tough and smooth basalt at the top. And I think that'll be pretty good. It's going to be a lot of glass here, so you might not be able to see the gradient too much, but I think that's probably fine. I've got to go collect bricks. I didn't have enough for this build, and Shadow's helping me out, so I got to run to the mailboxes that we've got set up. All right, so that'll be the front of the stores here, and then on the sides there, and there, we're going to do a combination, more like a grayscale. So we'll start with calcite on the bottom and sort of move up through the gray, the gray scale. With diorite, andesite, tough, and what is this, polished basalt. And I think that'll look pretty good. It might make it look kind of busy. I don't know. We'll see. But I think it looks pretty, at least it looks pretty good in my testing world. So let's get building. And with that, you can kind of see how the gradient was supposed to look. Now, in my testing world, I actually built out this wall and then punched holes for the windows. And in the corners here, I think using this wall is going to provide a little bit of depth in the corner, like it's, you know, like an old brick building. So the corners are like offset a little bit. It doesn't make a lot of sense as it sits right now, but I think it'll be better once the rest of the walls and windows are in. So that's the idea anyway. We've got that smooth basalt down to tough, down to mud, into the red bricks. And the red bricks are just sort of mixed in. Good morning, Freybo. A dog came to visit me. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do the front of the convenience store as well, and then we'll get into the sides. Synchronized yawning. I've got an office full of dogs right now, and I'm not upset about that. Okay, now we've got the basic structures completed with both fronts in as well as the sides. You can see that kind of white gradient that I was showing you before, or grayscale gradient, I guess it really is. I put some basic stone roofs on and the floors in. And these floors, this is just carpet. It was actually meant to be calcite and coal blocks, but coal, I don't have that much coal. And unlike the bees nests in the motel, this is something that I can I can deviate from coal in here. It's fine, it's no issue. But it sounds really quiet. So that might be something we replace over time, but that is okay. Okay, so this side is going to be the convenience store, and I think we're going to have like an apartment up above the convenience store, which I think fits the motif pretty well. And on this side here, this will be like a laundromat. So we've got to build all kinds of like washing machines and dryers. And I was thinking maybe like a dry cleaner in here or something. I'm not really sure, but we're gonna figure it out. I did not build out the interiors on my testing world. Okay, so one thing is that this gradient between the stone and the darker blocks here, it's a little bit of a hard gradient, or hard transition rather, not gradient, transition. But when I put the awning over the front of the store here, that transition is going to go away. So you're not going to see it. You're not going to notice it. That will never be an issue in this build in just a few minutes here. So I think the next step is going to be to, I guess, finish up the roof lines and put in our windows and stuff, and then work on the front of the stores here. And we'll see how it comes out. Oh yeah, that is looking nice. We've got some detail along the roof line right there. I'm going to get closer and show you that in just a second. We've got our awning. We threw in some pipes and stuff from the laundromat and a little walkway from one roof to the other there. There's more stuff we've got to do on the outside here, but I think that is looking pretty good for now. So this is just a quick update for you. We'll get closer and I'll show you this roof line. All right, so here we used cauldrons and hoppers to add detail to this roof line, and I think that looks really, really good. There's a lot of detail in these blocks, and I don't think you can really get that with many other things. So from super close, it looks really good, and from super far, it still looks pretty good. So I am really, really happy with that. Yeah, that's nice. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and finish up the interior here, and I will check back in with you, and I think we'll get started on the exterior wait, nope, that was backwards. We're going to go ahead and finish up the exterior, and I'm going to include some terraforming so I can kind of build this into the land a little bit better, and then we'll start working on the interior, and hopefully we can get this whole thing done in this video. All right, it is a new day in the real world, and I'm feeling a little congested today, so if my voice sounds a little different, that is why, and I apologize for that, but hopefully it's not terrible. I think that we've managed to get the convenience store pretty well tied into the surrounding terrain, just by kind of working the sand into the parking lot here. We've got some parking spaces just like over in the motel, and in the front we've gotten with this sort of like tile design with tuff and andesite, and I think that works out pretty good. I think that fits. Around the side we've got a fire escape to get into the apartment upstairs, and on the back I asked Barn if he could come over and do some pixel art, and he has, and it is wonderful. He's even dripped some paint onto the sidewalk. That looks fantastic, Barnes. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. Now we've got to work on the inside of this place, and I've got some pretty solid ideas. We just updated to, I don't even know what it is, 1.21.50 or something with the Pale Garden, or the Pale Garden? Pale Garden. And I think this is going to be a great opportunity to use some of the new wood. But first, I need to go get some. So I went out and I farmed a whole bunch of Pale Garden stuff, which is apparently not in any of these shulker boxes. Aha. As I was saying, Pale Garden stuff. But then somebody asked me for wood, so I gave away all my wood for it. You know, that's probably fine. But I do have some saplings, so I'm going to grow some trees. farm some wood, and we'll get started with this interior. All right, I think I want to put a storage room kind of in the back here, so that, you know, whoever's working at the convenience store can go out back to get the extra stock that they're looking for and come back out and serve the customer. That whole thing. So I think that I will add a section, not too big, right? Because we don't have a ton of space to work with, maybe just like 3 blocks wide. So right here, I think will be a good spot. Let me take that off. And we'll use some pale oak right in this corner here. Oh, that is nice. What a lovely block. And then we will make a doorway out of stripped oak like this. And I'm going to have to break a whole bunch of stuff here. Let's see. My lights are going to have to change, I think. But that is probably fine. Okay, that is all right. That is going to be our doorway into our stock room out back here. On this wall, I think I'm just going to do some shelves, and I don't know, we had mini blocks on the server, but I don't know if that got turned off or not. But hopefully we can get some mini blocks in here and add some items to the shelf. I think that would be wonderful. Okay, so we'll just do some shelves with some upside down stairs here, and then on this part, we're going to use trapdoors. Okay, that's it for shelving. I think that's fine, and we're going to have plenty of stuff to fill up the rest of this space here, so that will do there. I've been in my fair share of convenience stores, and it seems like every one you go into, right next to the cash register, there's that little heater where they keep the weird meat in. So we're going to try to duplicate that right here, and it may not be perfect. Obviously, stuff like this is a little tough to do sometimes, but we're going to see if we can work some magic. And to do it, we're going to use armor stands. So that is going to be the plan here. Now, armor stands, they don't look like meat inside of a glass thing. I should get some extra light in here. It is particularly dark. Right. They don't look like meat inside of a glass thing at all, but I think that there's some things that we can do. So if we give it a piece of steak and we get it in the right pose, say something like that, we might be able to position the armor stand in such a way that the meat is inside of a glass block. Do I have any glass blocks? I feel like I've got glass blocks. I do have glass blocks. Right, so positioning the meat inside of a glass block. Now, to do that, obviously, that doesn't quite line up, right? We want that meat kind of centered inside the glass block, so we'll have to push the armor stand forward and to the side a little bit to do that. And then it'll get close, I think, and maybe if we put the armor stand... kind of push it down through the glass block, it'll line up perfectly in the center here. But that's going to be some tricky stuff, because when you push blocks on top of an armor stand, they get like all dark and in the shadows. And you can see that in the TVs that I did in the motel. But there are some blocks that are transparent, and one of those is a shulker box. So I think that we're going to use shulker boxes and armor stands and glass blocks to try to replicate this. So this is the kind of thing that I'm going to go for right here, and we're going to have the meat situated right in the middle of that, and we've just got shulker boxes on all 3 sides. I don't think that's absolutely necessary. I think it's only that back one that matters, but you know, I think those look okay here, so we're going to leave them right where they are. All right, to get our armor stand in the right spot, we're going to use fence gates. So I'm going to put a fence gate across this glass block. And then I'm going to put a fence gate across this shulker box and see if we can't get this lined up right where we want it. Let's give him his steak first here. There we go. Perfect. So we'll put a fence gate looking forward just like that on the glass block, and one to the side just like that on top of that shulker. Oh, this is going to be fancy. You guys are going to love this. Okay, right behind the armor stand, we're just going to throw a piston down and push him forward. Perfect. And then We'll break this trapdoor, I think. Put a piston on this wall right here. And push our armor stand guy over to the right. Now that meat lines up pretty well in the middle. Maybe not perfect, but pretty well. Now the trick will be pushing him down. So when you push down blocks on top of an armor stand, if you push down 2 blocks, the armor stand will fall into the ground by 2 blocks. So when we do this, he's going to be standing on the floor level that we've got right here. And that meat should be centered right inside this glass. So hopefully this works out okay. Oops, I need to go up 1 block here. I got to break my floor. Now we've done it. Okay. We'll put our piston there. And a block, and I've lost my lever. Where is my lever? Aha. Okay, that's 1 block. Now with a second, not so bad. That's not so bad. All right, let's put all this stuff back. Okay, so we're gonna do this 2 high here. Same kind of design, 1 more on top of it. I think I'll do like cooked chicken on the top because there's, you know, not much grosser than day old cooked steak and cooked chicken in a heater. Have some chicken, sir? If you could please kindly stand in the correct position. All right, I think I've got to go upstairs for this. I think he's too high up there. So let me go upstairs and then we will push him straight down. All right, how'd we do? I think that looks pretty good. I mean, it's not perfect, right? You can see the armor stand there. But honestly, I'm okay with it. It kind of looks like a little rack in the back. So it seems pretty good to me. I'm going to take that. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. Okay. The next thing that just about every 7-Eleven has is like a Slurpee machine, right? You've got the frozen drinks. So we're gonna try to put one of those right here. Okay, with these machines, I'm going to try to use the same sort of idea, the same principle as we did with the nasty meat. We're going to use a different background block. Composters are also transparent blocks, so these will work great as a background. And we're just going to put these guys right. There we go. So looking through the glass, you've got the composter in the back. That looks pretty good, I think. All right, for this guy, we're going to use a warp block. So we're going to use nether wart block. I think this is going to be like the cherry flavor, and then warped wart block for like a blueberry flavor. Maybe blue raspberry or something. I don't know what it is. Okay, and we're going to put these right inside of these glass blocks and see how this works. I think it's going to be all right. So give me just a second. I'm going to get this done. Oh, yeah. I think that looks pretty good. So we've got our sort of like cherry flavor and then maybe like a blue raspberry over here, our cup set up. That is nice. I like that. All right, the next item is going to be a magazine stand, which I think, again, every convenience store has. We're going to put that right next to the slushies. And yeah, utilizing the same technique, except this time I'm going to use iron bars for the medium rather than glass. So we're just going to push some armor stands through the iron bars, and I think it'll be okay. This one doesn't really work quite as well, but I think it'll get the point across. And one thing to be aware of when you're pushing armor stands down is whether or not there's stuff underneath the floor, which in this case there is not. I'm going to have to start this one over. There we go. Yeah, it ain't perfect, but I think it gets a point across. This is a little magazine stand. I like it. All right, I think the last thing we need is just a counter here in the middle, and that should be a whole lot easier than screwing with these armor stands, so we should be in pretty good shape there. Let me go ahead and throw something together. And with that, I think we're officially done here. We've got our Pulse City news ticker right on the top here, which is going around the top of the kiosk. I guess this is a kiosk. We've got some signage for, you know, sales and eat the nasty meat at your own risk. That stuff is gross over there, but you know, buy it anyway. And then we added a little bit out back in the storage room, just kind of it's not really functional, but it does kind of demonstrate sort of a storage room. I guess. So it works. Anyway, yeah, it is looking super fancy. I absolutely love the way the slushy machines and the rotisserie kind of thing came out. I think they look absolutely fantastic. Yeah, that's about it for this convenience store. I think we may end up adding some details around the front, like I said, and a new section of the building on the back, but we're not going to do that today. And we are also not going to do this laundromat today. I think I'm going to hold off on this guy for off camera, and in the next episode I think that we're going to go ahead and finish up this trailer park, and I think it's going to look super fancy. We'll get some trailers in here, maybe like a playground or something, and some roads connecting everything. I think it's going to be pretty awesome. With that, I've got a little bit of cleanup to do around this place. That will be about it for this episode. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button and consider subscribing for more episodes just like this. And check me out on my socials. Links in the description. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.